The book is written actually at a level where parents can read and understand and kids can read and understand. I'm just trying to create that conversation that they need to have.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Very good idea.
Well, Crystal mentioned something about how we raise kids today, and I want to tell you something that I've noticed. And I don't want this to put any shade on any of us. Kids are smarter than we were. Mm-hmm. My daughter, Gia, who's 16 now, has outdistanced me in a lot of areas at 16. And so the way that I'm trying to raise her right now, and you met her when we came to tennis, the way that I'm trying to raise her right now is through communication as opposed to being a dictator.
Right.
We talk about things, we work on them, and I'm happy to say that she's a good child. Mm-hmm. She didn't get that way accidentally, and there were some times that we had that I think were tough. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But what made it better is the level of communication. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I want to say before we go any further, the emphasis on telling stories to your kids creates a bond that's hard to break. Mm-hmm. My grandfather would tell me stories, and I got to tell you, I would be riveted by those stories, and that's how he taught. So
and
that's what I'm trying to do.
You remember it until this day?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like a song. You know how you hear a song, you can't forget it? Yeah. A story has the same impact.
Especially if it's one that you hate. Then you hear that song playing in your head, then you find yourself singing it. Yeah. You go, oh, Lord, now I'm singing this song I hate so much. But then you remember. So it's the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And every child is different. I know when my mom used that same communication, come to me, I don't care if it's good, bad, whatever it is, use that, come to me and let's have that conversation. Yeah. So that door was always open, and that was very important when we were teenagers. But I have a middle sister who, I don't care what she is, just like, you would think we were raised in two different families. Because the same message was being delivered to all of us.
I have that in my family.
But she was not hearing it, and she was defiant, and she and my mom they went against each other all the time. Yeah. And so you have to, when you're raising your children, you have to interact with them based upon their personality. Yeah. And sometimes it's like a cookie cutter type of discipline, and it doesn't work the same way.
Absolutely.
With all their children. And when you look at minority kids, the way black kids are raised and Hispanic kids are raised and white kids are raised, I mean, there's certain liberties that did not take place in our family. Yeah. Let's take the young man that did the shooting yesterday in Florida. His foster parents are saying, well, yeah, we had a gun. We told him it had to be locked up. Yeah. But we gave him he had the key. But we didn't notice that there was anything wrong with him. How could you not notice that a kid that's moody and everybody at school figured that he was going to be the next kid to shoot up something? So how does the parents...
So everybody knew except the parents.
Everybody but the parents. How do the parents not know? This is your child. This is your child.
They were in denial.
Yeah.
They were in denial.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about the book and how you use it as a tool to... send that message to different groups.
Well, you're asking some great questions here, and let me give you a concept that came out of the book. Mm-hmm. The picture that you started the interview with, taken in 1963, was doing a demonstration. Yes. If you look at what's going on now, we've kind of evolved from demonstration to protest. Yeah. And what's interesting about it to me is that protests have not had the same impact as demonstrations.